Share, copy link. Cool. Okay. She's not here. She's not here yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, my leg was locking up. It was terrible. Next.
This be
Yeah,
my
just tell me when.
this be my brother. Say hi to my friend.
I don't want to. Crazy.
He says hi.
Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
Hi, loons. So the game we're playing is Mindtrap. Basically, Christian is going to read me a card that has a question on one side and the answer on the back. And since you're here, we're gonna talk with each other and see if we can't figure it out. I'm kind of failing right now. It's kind of pathetic.
Start off with an easy one.
Okay, so go ahead.
In what month do Americans drink the least amount of beer?
Okay, so in what month do Americans drink the least amount of beer? Okay, well, seeing as I'm underage, this is gonna be a bit trickier. I feel like it's February because it's the shortest.
That's correct.
Hey, I got it, because February is the shortest. So technically, Americans drink the least amount of beer throughout the whole year in that month because it is the shortest.
Good and roll.
You get what I'm putting down, loons? Okay. So now I get to roll the dice, and I get to move 2 spaces. So the green one's mine. 1, 2. That's my brother's. He's the blue one. But trust me, this is the pile of the cards we've gone through on my turn. As you can tell, I'm not very good. Okay, so now it's my turn. So, do you want to choose a blue one, a pink one, or one of the really long purple ones? There's a delay. You're gonna have to give it a sec. Okay. No, there's just a delay with streaming. Okay. So, Art Spragg often boasted that he never required anyone's help for anything. Then one day it all changed. Both Art and his wife had to ask someone to help them do something they couldn't do themselves. The person they chose was their next-door neighbor, Reggie. Not only was Reggie 83 years old, but he was also deaf and confined to a wheelchair. Nevertheless, Reggie wheeled over to the Braggs and provided some assistance that neither was able to do on their own. Since Reggie doesn't possess any particular skill or talent, what could he have been asked to do?
Watching them sign a legal document.
He got that right. He freaking got that right. Okay. So, yes, he is.
What, Jesus? Yes.
No, smart idiot. She was complimenting you.
It is well known that the hardy emperor penguin inhabits the sub-zero temperatures of the Antarctic. Ironically, however, when they are imported to zoos in the temperature and in temperate regions, they often catch a cold and die. Why?
Because the temperature changes and they're not used to it. Okay. So, when penguins are global warming. No. Okay. Here you go. Here's the card. So it's not global warming, and it's not because they're being moved to somewhere that's hotter. You can't read?
You can't read?
She can't say. She said, I can't read or write. I think she meant. If you can't read or write, how do you read my tweets? Oh. She can't read from white paper.
Huh.
Okay, I'll read it out to you, Loons. It is well known that the hardy emperor penguin inhabits the sub-zero temperatures of the Antarctic. Ironically, however, when they are imported to zoos in the temperate regions, they often catch a cold and die. Why? So not global warming, and it's not because of region changes. So temperate, so that's like tropical-ish areas that are
like Colorado or just normal places like in America, any normal American place like Washington or like Kansas or Florida, literally anywhere.
it's too warm for them. I don't think it does it have anything to do with temperature.
Yes.
Is it because it's too warm?
No, because here's the answer. The Antarctic is so cold it's practically antiseptic, which means they haven't built up an immune system to immunities to many common germs.
Oh, so basically, in the Antarctic, it's so cold that viruses and germs and whatnot can't survive. So when they come here, where the germs are alive and active, they don't have the immunity that we do. So they're just a little weaker on that aspect of it. Okay. So I'm going to choose a purple one. They're kind of long, but I'm hoping to trick him over. Hasn't worked so far. No need for intimidations. Apparently, there's polar bears in zoos in Great Britain. Okay. So, Professor Quantum led Belvedere to the exhibit of the Botticelli.
You were showing me that one.
Okay. You know what? Here's a new one because Christian was looking at the answer. Cheater. That's my fault, though. I was holding it up for you to read as well. Read along, I guess. I don't care.
Just
The year was 1483, and Sir Henry Wyatt, a noble at the court of King Richard III, had been accused of being active in the recent uprising against the king. "You aren't even worthy of being hanged, you ungrateful dog," screamed the enraged king. "I sentence you to die of starvation in the Tower of London. You can spend the last couple of weeks of your wretched life thinking of what you've done. If anyone should so much as dare to bring you a morsel of food, I will have his hands chopped off." Sir Henry was confined to the low, narrow cell where he sat and awaited his inevitable fate. Miraculously, however, Sir Henry must have had 9 lives, for after several months he was still in reasonably good health. Since no man had visited or brought him any food, how could he have managed to stay alive?
He ate rats. or pigeons. Birds.
But how did he get the birds into his cage? No one visited him.
Well, he caught them. Or he, like, ate bugs and stuff.
There's nothing in the cell. There's no way anything can get into the cell.
Oh, then he ate birds.
What brought it to him?
Nothing. Birds and rats?
He's really dumb.
I don't know. I do not know.
Sir Henry Wyatt was kept alive by a cat. As legend has it, a cat wandered into his cell and took a liking to him. On occasion, the cat would kill a pigeon and bring it to Wyatt, enabling him to stay alive. Eventually, when news of this miracle reached the king, he relented and ordered Wyatt released. So, yeah. I think we're both growing bored with this game. It's really rough and there's only 2 people. So, I'm not going to end the stream. I was thinking once my brother and I pack this up, I could go into my room and read my other story to you, which I've been like dying to read to you. So, if you want to give us a quick sec to pack up, then we'll be up in my room so I can read to you. You can be soothed by my voice that as of right now is all gravelly. Well, feels gravelly at least. She said you're cool. She likes you.
Thanks.
He can be a little bit of a twat too.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Did you hear that, Loons?
No, I'm not even...
I feel like that was too quiet for the camera to pick up. I said he could be a bit of a twat too at points. Yes, she heard it. Okay, give us a sec to pack up and then I'm gonna head into my room.
Wait, hold up. Let me get to the slower part.
I just flipped right out. Did I scare you, puppy?
So no slow parts? Oh,
Okay.
What's that note? Alright. Give me all the blues.
This is what happens behind the scenes of most games. Thank you for taking pity on me and coming to this. I really appreciate it. No, I honestly think we're way cooler than FNAF, so there.
Just start screaming.
But then Mom gets so... What the hell is going on?
I don't know.
Oh, you forgot that.
You know, I'd be really scared if I started taking just took a gun out and just started shooting it.
This is supposed to go underneath.
No, it's just gonna go back on top.
You forgot some.
I know it is. God, these are thick. Thick.
I really appreciate that, Loons. It means a lot.
Thick with like 3
Just-
snoops.
Remember what I told you? In a couple years, when I have a job and I've saved up enough money, when PAX rolls around, I could buy you a ticket here to America and to PAX, and we could go see that together. Then you can meet me. It's not gonna be too much longer. Yo. gonna be weird camera angles for a minute as I go up to my room. Give me a second. Ah.
That's why Gus was freaking out. You guys have those two.
Maybe. Okay. We're almost there. My room. Ugh. I'm sorry. I'm settled for now, so. So, the story I have written besides Auntie's Diary is titled Pure Animal. Basically, it's just about flying wolves and whatnot. 'Cause when I started writing this, here's the story, like how I came to write it. It started back when I was in 6th grade or year 6, according to you Brits. Christian, the brother you just saw, said that he was a better writer than I was. And me being the competitive me, what was like, no, I'm clearly the better writer. So Gabe, I have 4 brothers. Got Christian you just met, Aunt's in the room next to me. Gabe's downstairs hiding in his room. And then Ben is at work. And so I was like, okay, I'm obviously a better writer. And then Gabe, he goes, okay, let's have a competition then. By this day, I want you to have 3 pages of an original story that you're working on. And I was like, okay. So I started writing this one random one. The one thing came to mind was flying wolves. So I started writing it. Then Christian backed out of it like the coward that he is. And I technically won the competition, so technically in this household, I'm the best writer. I've yet to be competed for that, but... So yeah, I started working on it, and then here's what's weird. So beforehand, for me, I could write, but it always ended with, like, page and a half to 2 pages of a story. But here's the weird thing. When I was writing Pure Animal and got to the point, because for me, writing 3 pages in year 6 was like, oh my god, how is that possible? I can't write that he's a better writer, because I was like, no, that's just no. I am a better writer than he'll ever be, so I'm not gonna bow down to that. So I just kept writing, and there's like, it's hard to explain, but but so like what happened was, it's kind of like an elastic band was around my brain. It's weird, I know, but I'm weird, so I'm just gonna go with it. And so when I wrote that 3rd page of Pure Animal, it like snapped. So now it's super easy for me to write longer stories, because I don't feel confined anymore. My brain doesn't feel like it can only do 2 pages at a time for any given story. Like, every story has to end by 3 pages or whatever. Well, 2. So yeah, this one, Pure Animal, is like 100-something pages, and I'm really proud of it. Been working on it since year 6, and oh my god, the amount of times I've gone back and revised. I took out huge chunks of my story, and then Christian was like, oh, what about a plot twist? So I put in a plot twist, which took me a few months, because I was like, I don't know how to lead up to the plot twist. Like, I knew what I wanted the plot twist to be, but I didn't know how to lead up to it. So it took me a few months of brainstorming and writing and revising and whatnot to actually come up with it. So, yeah. Anyway, enough of the introduction. Now that you know a little bit of the backstory to it. Yeah. I feel bad for people who have dyslexia because that could be rough. You can't write well, you can't read well because of that mental barrier. But I believe in you. You're obviously doing quite well because you're responding easily, like pretty quickly in Twitter. So yeah, and you can write really long on Twitter. So I'm glad you're going over that mental barrier. Oh, so like it blends in or something, or I just like Jack. I am not an expert in fields like that. You can ask about dogs anytime, but just not mental issues, mental things like dyslexia and whatnot. Because I don't have it, luckily. My life would be so different than it is now if I had to struggle with dyslexia. Like, no, no, thank you. I'm the biggest reader, such a big reader. Just recently, I went to my public library like a few weeks ago and checked out 3 books. I posted on Twitter. They're due on the 25th, so it's basically like a book a week that I'm trying to finish. I finished one. I'm on to my second. I'm hoping that by the end of oh, I'll have to renew one because I'm only on my second, and next week is when they're due. Like Monday is when they're due. So, oops. Wasn't reading them as fast as I thought I was. Oh yeah, those are. Yeah. I'm trying to move it so you can see pictures that I drew. That's nice. That's kind of cool. So I'm guessing you're a fan of the night mode on Twitter too. Yeah, I use it. Just for me, it's more of style and less of, a necessity. But okay, so here's the chapter. Oh, not the cover. I made this myself. Yeah, I don't know how to change YouTube's thing. I have it on night mode. I think I must have put it on when I first got the app, and then now I've completely forgotten how to take it off. But anyway, this is the cover page that I've worked on. I've worked on it for months before I came up with this one. Um, just the basic editing website called PyZap, where I just found this picture online and then just chose a certain font. I'm sorry that it's backwards. It says Pure Animal up top, and then Melody Harris on the bottom. That's my real name. I just really like the name Abby. And okay, I'm sorry. I want to let you get to know a bit more about me. Abby the dragon was, um, oh, this is my cover I worked on for a while using a website called PyZap. It's basically, so I found this picture on Google Images, and then I uploaded it to PyZap. This is the title right here. It says Pure Animal. Sorry that it's backwards. And then on the bottom it says Melody Harris, because that's my real name. The reason why on Twitter it says Abby the Dragon is because that was actually my first OC. My first original character was, if you know the website Scratch, it's basically like there's an I at the end. Just an I, no Y. Anyway, so Scratch is like this programming website for kids, and that's where I started writing actually started writing stories about this girl that was half dragon, half human. Her name was Abby, so Abby the Dragon. It was Abby the Dragon Girl at the time, but for certain websites, if Dragon Girl doesn't fit, I just say Dragon, because it's, at this point I don't use Scratch anymore, and those stories have long since ended. I didn't really get very far because reasons. So yeah, I stopped, and I keep the name Abby the Dragon for pseudonyms because I'm like, I don't want people to know my real name online. My mom got so confused when she saw that though. She's like, but Abby isn't your real name. I'm like, I know. It's called covering up my identity. So, here I go. I hope you like it. I loved writing this. Sorry. And just a little bit of info for you to help at least with the time and whatnot. Oh, cool. Okay. So, as I started to write this, I wanted to give the characters their own sense of time. I didn't really get that creative. I literally just went, okay, so one wolf year is 7 of hours, and one sun is 1 day. So 365 times 7 is 2,555 suns. Then 365 times 3, 1095, and 1095 times 7 is 7665. So 7665 suns are actually 3 years, and etc. So keep this in mind when you're reading. Well, when you're listening, I guess, because I'm the one reading. Suns. Like, out there. Not like children. Sun as in the big ball of gas that makes the earth warm. Yeah, that. The opposite of moon. There aren't any suns in my story, only suns. If that makes it more clear. I don't know. Yup. That was my goal, total. Okay. So, chapter 1. Oh yeah, and I'm really happy with this title font right here that I found. I found it on a website called Cool Symbols. Basically everything is either a website or Google Doc. Okay. A white, blue, and black pup squirmed. She had no idea what was going on. I can't see. Help! She started to whine. What was that? She started to whine more. Her stomach rumbled. She sniffed, trying to find some food. The delicious smell of milk entered her nose. She followed it to the source and started to suckle. This must be my mommy. She has food. I'm going to stay right here. She felt something try to push her away. Indignant, she pushed back harder. No, I'm staying. You have to move. 3 more times did she feel this. She didn't understand. What were all these bodies? Eventually, she just gave up trying to move them and fell back asleep. She woke up to find that the squirming had stopped. They were also curled up against her mom. These must be my siblings. I guess I can deal with them. Doesn't mean I have to like them. She sighed and went back to sleep. 147 suns later. Please don't capture me saying that and make a gif out of it. I'm just embarrassing myself now. The white, blue, and black pup wrestled with one of her brothers. She nipped at his ears. He flipped her over and growled. She pushed him off of herself. Yes, thank you. She pushed him off of herself. Just then her mom barked. All the pups rushed over to her. She looked down at her pups, thinking. Yes, Mommy? The white pup yipped. Today is the day you get your names. All the pups bounced. They were so excited. It was about time. They were so done just being called pups. The mom looked down at the white pup first. You will be called Freezing Rain, because just like frozen rain, your heart is soft, but on the outside you are very fierce. 210 suns later. Freezing Rain ran over to the dead elk. Yum! Food! She had been waiting very anxiously for her first taste of real food. It had only been about 14 suns since her mom had weaned Freezing Rain and her siblings off of milk. Since then, she was very excited to try what the hunting party brought. Everybody else had eaten, so now it was her turn. Freezing Rain sniffed the elk. She felt her mouth start to water. Oh, this smells so good. I can't wait to try it. She plunged her nose into the elk. Looking up, she saw Warm Sun and Moon Shadow walk over to eat as well. Hi, guys, Freezing Rain yipped. How are you liking the elk? Both Warm Sun and Moon Shadow were the same age as Freezing Rain, 360 suns old. They had also just been weaned off their mother's milk, so this was their first taste of meat. Warm Sun gave Freezing Rain a big smile. It's delicious. How are you liking it? Her smile grew wider. It's better than anything I have ever tasted. Warm Sun laughed. All you have ever tasted is your mother's milk, silly. Well, you know what I meant. I can't believe this is what the other wolves have been eating. Could there possibly be anything better? Warm Sun shook her head. Definitely not. There is no way anything can taste better than elk meat. They both plunged their nuzzles, muzzles back into the elk. Sorry about that dribble. That wasn't supposed to be an insult. You were just clarifying, you've only had your mother's milk, so how can it, semantics. But yeah, you go ahead and use that as an insult. 224 suns later. The pack had moved so much. Freezing Rain, however, was used to this. It was an accident, I swear. Freezing Rain, however, was used to this. She had also spreaded a good few inches from head to paw. Oh, shit. Sorry. From head to paw. And from head to tail. So, length and height. I can't tell if you realize, height, length. Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain. She was the middle child in height. She wasn't the smallest, but she wasn't the biggest either. Well, I am an innocent child. I'm sorry, my brain left the building for a second. I was staring at my screen like I want to say something, but my brain isn't working. Anyway, she wasn't the smallest, but she wasn't the biggest either. She bounded around her siblings, daring them to attack her. Shreely finally succumbed to the teasing of his sister and jumped on her. Freezing Rain growled playfully. Rolling on her back, she felt the cold snow sticking to her fur. She batted at Treeleaf's belly. He growled back, then trapped her by putting one paw gently on her neck. Freezing Rain feigned death. Okay, okay, you win, she barked. Laughing, Treeleaf let her get up. Freezing Rain's fur was covered in snow. She shook, getting it all over Treeleaf. Ha! Got you! She howled. Treeleaf shook his head. She then pounced on him, pinning him to the ground. How do you like it? Freezing Rain half whispered, half yipped in his ear. Treeleaf growled, batting at her. Suddenly a bark snapped both their heads up. It was their mother. Get over here. There is no time for rough denning. So, side author's note. So, a wolf's house is technically its den. So, as humans, we would say rough housing. But wolves don't know what houses are. They only know what dens are. So, it would be rough denning. That's just where my brain was with that. Freezing Rain got off of Treeleaf. I win, she whispered. I would call it a tie. Come on, we need to catch up with the rest of the pack. They both ran over to where their mom was. She turned and looked at them. Immediately, both Freezing Rain and Treeleaf lowered their eyes and their tails lowered. Freezing Rain looked up and whimpered, I'm sorry, Mama. We just wanted to have some fun. You know that when the pack is moving, there is no time for fun. You risk losing the pack because you are so absorbed in who can pin who first. Now come, I have a feeling we will be settling somewhere for the night. A few hours had passed. Freezing Rain's mom was right. The pack had settled down for the night. She sighed. She still felt bad about upsetting her mom. I'm just a pup. Oh. Excuse my dying. I'm just a pup, though. It's natural for me to want to wrestle with my siblings. I'm fine. Let's just say I'm slightly dehydrated. And so that's affecting my voice. And I've been talking for 38 minutes. Well, over 38 minutes. Closer to like an hour. So, my throat be a little dry. She shrugged. It's life. Hopefully the pack will stay here for a while. Freezing Rain thought that they might. It's a nice small clearing surrounded by pines, as well as a lot of clearings. Freezing Rain really couldn't tell why the pack kept moving. There was no reason for it. Each place they went to was perfect. I have to lay these thoughts to rest. It really shouldn't matter tonight. I need my sleep. Freezing Rain sighed and closed her eyes. Freezing Rain opened her eyes. I know, a weird transition. The rest of the pack was up and about. She didn't see any sign of the pack moving. She guessed that they would be staying there, which made her extremely happy. She hated moving, and left her no time to have fun and was very boring. She hated walking. She would much rather be running, feeling the wind hit her face, the ground flying beneath her paws. Maybe I should ask if I could join the hunting party. She took a deep breath, got up, and went to ask one of the wolves in the hunting party if she could join. Hey, Flowing River, Freezing Rain greeted. So far, so good. Flowing River wagged her tail in response. Hey there, Freezing Rain. I was just wondering if I could join the hunting party. Flowing River chuckled. You sure? Aren't you a little young? I'm 584 suns old. I'm sorry. You have to be at least 1,278 suns old to apprentice as a hunter. Oh, come on. I'm close. Freezing Rain shook her head. 500 suns isn't close, Freezing Rain. How about this? I will let you watch every now and then, but you can't join, nor come with us every time. Also, there's a lot of running involved. Are you sure you're up for it? Freezing Rain nodded vigorously. She knew she was. Okay, I want to see you in action. Follow me. Freezing Rain trotted for a little bit. Flowing River trotted for a little bit, Freezing Rain in tow. Flowing River stopped when they were a good distance from the camp. She looked over at Freezing Rain. I want you to run back to camp. I will be waiting for you there. She nodded. Flowing River started running very quickly back to camp. Freezing Rain started to follow, but eventually she got left behind. Fear gripped her chest. Oh no, I can't be lost. Why would she do this to me? She started to pant hard. Her heart was racing. While she was panting, she felt something odd. Trying to figure out what it was, she started to follow it, walking at first, then running. Freezing Rain looked around her, then down at the ground. She noticed some paw prints in the snow. Oh my gods! Am I following Flowing River's scent? She started going faster and faster, pushing herself as hard as she could. Eventually, she broke through the trees and found her pack. Flowing River trotted up to her. She was surprised that she didn't have to go back and fetch Freezing Rain. Most pups just stay where they were and start to whine when she took off running. Freezing Rain, however, made it back all by herself. I see that you were able to make it back. She nodded, her tail wagging very quickly. Guess what? I followed your scent. I didn't know what I was smelling at first, but then I looked down and saw your paw prints in the snow and connected them. Freezing Rain rattled off without taking a breath. Flowing River laughed. Whoa there. Slow down. You found my scent? Yeah, isn't that cool? Flowing River shook her head. Freezing Rain is going to be just fine. As a hunter wolf, she is very smart. 694 suns later. Freezing Rain jumped up. Today was the day that Flowing River would teach her to hunt. Every now and then, she would take her out into the forest further and further from the pack, and expected her to find her own way back. She also pushed Freezing Rain to go quicker. Each day she was sore, but ready to get back at it. Freezing Rain ran over to Flowing River. You ready to teach me how to hunt? Freezing Rain yipped happily. Flowing River nodded. You do know that you won't actually be hunting, right? What do you mean? Freezing Rain's tail dropped. You pups get to just watch us at first, then, after a while... Thank you. After a while, once we think you know your role in the hunt, you can help us and join the party. Oh. Flowing River noticed her sadness. Perk up, it's not that bad. It's all about practice. First you observe. Hunting is very dangerous. Multiple wolves are found injured, even killed, while hunting. It's best that you just watch. One will want you getting hurt, okay? Freezing Rain nodded. Flowing River noticed this and barked happily. Okay then, let's go. Flowing River started walking over to the hunting party. Hey, Firmgrass, is it alright if Freezing Rain joins us as an apprentice? Firmgrass looked over at her. Have you tested her? Flowing River nodded. When she was a pup, she very quickly learned how to follow scents, and I've been helping her to get faster ever since then. Firmgrass gave Freezing Rain one more look over. Okay, I guess we can give her a shot. Freezing Rain beamed. She never expected this. Firmgrass looked over at the rest of the hunting party. Let's go, group. We have food to get. They all nodded and then started to follow Firmgrass. Flowing River looked over at Freezing Rain. Now this is when you put your nose to the ground and start sniffing for any sign of prey. She nodded and put her nose down to the ground. Days had passed with no sign of prey. At this point, Freezing Rain knew that the pack would be following their scent, knowing that the hunting party wouldn't want to have to drag the elk, or whatever they found, all the way back. Suddenly some wolf yowled, I got a scent! Firmgrass looked over and barked, Lead the way, Silent Falls. Freezing Rain smiled. The chase is on. The hunting party stood on a hill. The gang of elk was at least 100 wolves' lengths away. Flowing River glanced over at Freezing Rain. This is where you stay and watch. Let us do the work. You are here just to watch. You got that? Freezing Rain nodded. Just then, Firmgrass started to run towards the elk. The rest of the party followed suit. Flowing River and the rest of the females started running towards the side of the gang, making sure none of the stronger elk tried to interfere with the kill. The males started trying to make one of the younger or sicker ones break rank. When the hunting party started to get out of sight, Freezing Rain started to run after them. As she ran after the party, she saw an elk break ranks. The females continued to herd the rest of the gang away from the one that broke rank. Freezing Rain sniffed behind her. The rest of the pack was almost there. They better hurry and make the kill. From grass jumped up and bit the nose of the older elk. Another wolf bit at the hind of it while another bit at its throat. They continued to do this until it fell. Freezing Rain gasped at how quickly they took it down. Eventually, that will be me! 1,277 suns later. Freezing Rain woke up to the call of the hunting party. She had just finished her apprenticeship with Flowing River, just as she decided to stay with the elders. Freezing Rain ran over to the leader, Silent Falls. Morning, Freezing Rain yapped. Morning, Freezing Rain, Silent Falls replied. You ready? Freezing Rain nodded. This would be her first time going hunting, and she was really excited. Her whole life led up to this moment. She flexed her now fully grown legs. As soon as every wolf was gathered, Silent Falls howled, and they were off, noses to the ground, sniffing for any sign of prey. The ground was nice and soft with green grass. The smell of pines dominated the air. Freezing Rain looked at the gang of elk. She knew what she had to do. With Silent Falls' command, she started running after the elk, the ground passing beneath her paws, the wind whipping her in the face. She got engulfed in the thrill of the hunt. Then she stopped feeling the ground. Her wings had opened. So, that was chapter 1. Do you want me to keep going on to chapter 2 or end the stream? Thanks. It comes from years and years of reading. At least that's what I think. Okay, I don't have to. It's only 4:55 here. 53. So, unless I'm having a really early dinner, I'm good for like another half hour maybe. Okay. So this is chapter 2. I'm pretty sure I finished chapter 2 in a previous stream, but I'm gonna read it to you now here. It's gonna be weird, but you know. I'll have 2 chapter 2s on the channel. That was called Mind Bender, I think. Give me 1 sec. Hi, I'm back. Sorry, I just went to check. It's called Mindtrap, not Mind Bender. It's Mindtrap 2. It was made in 1997. Oh, I'm sorry. I just had to check. I had the website I used for the rules open already on this phone, so just had to switch real fast. So yeah, Mindtrap 2 is the game that my brother and I were playing. So if you want to get it and play it with your friends or parents, then yeah, that's the name. I have a funny story. This is like well known in my family. So we have this like trivia game called Beat the Parents. So it's just this like really long board. And on one side you have like the kids side, on one side you have the parents. And your goal is to get to the other side of the board. And the parents are, all the adults are on one side and all the kids are on the other. So it's like a kids v adult kind of game. And let's just say at this particular moment my dad was quite drunk. He was very drunk. He was extremely drunk. And so one of the questions asked, do crocodiles cry? And after a while of the adults talking about it, my dad was like, I'm an engineer. I actually know. Oh, I got it. They do, because crocodiles have eyes. I'm like, Dad, I think it's time you went to bed. You were quite drunk. You need to go to bed. The entire table just cracked up. It was the best. And so now whenever anyone brings it up, he just yells like, but they have eyes. I'm like, Dad, you were drunk. You were drunk off your ass. Like, so, I'm just like, yeah. He's he's more mellow when he's drunk. Not that he's bad or anything. And he's not drunk, he's like me when I just stared at the screen. Except he doesn't just stare. He'll stare and then say something really stupid. Just like, love you too, Dad. Love you too. He is. And he's like, but he's strict too. He's everything a dad should be, in all honesty. Strict, he's strong, he's amazing, like funny when he's drunk, doesn't understand why girls constantly cry all the time. It's, yeah. You're 21. I don't think kids over 18 can get adopted. So, I should know. I was adopted. That's why if you saw a Christian and then compared him to me, we're completely different. It's because you came from different families, so yeah. It was special. I don't remember much of my foster mom. Only what my... Anyway, I don't have memories of her, just what my mom tells me. I'm not going to say because I'll just dampen the mood. But here's an adorable memory of mine. It's the most early memory that I have in my brain. So I was 3. That's when I got adopted. And I had just officially gotten adopted into the family I'm with now. And I had like a gallon Ziploc bag full of Hershey's Kisses. It was full. So just imagine like a little 3-year-old with a huge bag like that. And my mom was just like, go hand these out to everybody. So I just went around the courtroom handing out candies to everyone, including the judge. So it was a pretty happy moment for my family. I'm not. If I do cry, it's because of the pounding in my head. But this is all on me. It's called I go for almost a 4 freaking mile walk and I don't bring water with me. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna punish you for that. My 3rd of these. It's not going away. I'm kinda mad. I am! I have a problem with being hydrated. This is not my only dehydration headache. Oh, there's been more. Many more. Oh. Say hi to Toby. Toby, say hi. Toby. Who's a good boy? Are you a good boy? You want to go for a walk? You want to have some steak? I just love doing that to him. Give me 1 sec. He wants up on my bed. That's the only reason why he came in here. Not kidding. Only reason he wants up on my bed. I have motion sickness for a second. Ugh. I'm gonna try and eat this. Can this? Perfect. Oh, there. Ugh. It's all situated. Yeah, he old. He's lost all his teeth. We have this special dog food we have to give him now because he can't eat the dry kibble and the dog food bowl thing. Sad. Here, I'll pet him for you. Yeah, he all sleepy. He's lost so many teeth that you might see very quickly. Um, his tongue will just like come out of his mouth and kind of like a derpy kind of look. It'll kind of look like this. Just because he doesn't have any more teeth to hold his tongue back. And then, like, when he drinks water, just spills. Yeah, he's my old dog. I've had him since I was in year 3, I think. So for 6 years. So yeah, he's edging towards the double digits. Can't remember how old he was when we got him, but yeah, he's old. And now I have dog hair everywhere. Sorry, there's a dog hair on my phone. It's old. I try and take him for walks, but he like barely makes it. So. But okay, another funny story. You're gonna love this one. So this was a few years ago, and we were camping. We are actually coming back from camping, and I was like, I'm really tired, so I'm gonna. Yeah, it's joy of pets. I had the first dog, or at least the dog that was here when I was around with the family. His name was Bear. He was a wiener dog, like all their dogs. And he was really fluffy. Like, he was black and super duper fluffy. He was so soft. And when he begged, he would kind of like do this thing where he's sitting on his legs, on his back legs, and tuck. I'm gonna use Toby as a stand. It's gonna be weird. Good boy, Toby. But so he'd be like sitting on his back legs and do this kind of thing with his front legs to beg. Just be like straight as a board. She's like, oh. I'm just like, you're an adorable dog, Bear. Then one that passed a bit more recently, her name was Gizzy. She was black, just like Bear. They came in together. She actually lasted way longer than we thought she ever would. But she had to get put down because, like, she just got to the point where she was so old and, like, she couldn't hold her bladder anymore. So she just started peeing everywhere in the house. So my mom was like, she couldn't handle it anymore. She couldn't handle the fact that she was so old and that she kept peeing in the house. So we had to put her down a year ago-ish, a year and a couple months ago. And then a couple months after she got put down, we got Gus when he was a pup. It's how it is with pets. They never last long enough. It's just like, But then we got Gus. He was 4 weeks old. No, he was 4 months, I think. He was like about 4 months old when he got him a year ago. And he was so cute as a puppy. Like, I remember the second day he was here, he just crawled. I had like a jacket on, and he crawled into my arms and just started snuggling into my jacket. So I zipped my jacket up, and he fit so comfortably in it, and I just about cried. I was like, I love you so much. But he was a nuisance to potty train. I am not kidding. And since he started peeing and pooping in the house, Toby and Willie were like, oh yeah, it's acceptable. I'm like, no, it's not. You pee outside. But yeah. Now it's just like, can you not? Can you just do your business outside and not mark my bedroom, mark my laundry basket, mark my bed? Like, it ain't yours, it's mine. And then freaking Gus pees on Willie. Like, I've seen him do it. He just lifts his leg and pees on Willie's back. I'm just like, can you not? Can you not? But it's like, nope. I'm just gonna mark. I'm like, you're marking another dog, for crying out loud. Is it really necessary to mark another dog? Anyway, back to my story. We were coming back from camping a little while ago. I love cats, but here's the thing, I'm allergic to them. And I'm allergic to Gus. So my mom and I want to be a vet. So my mom's like, you might have to reconsider because you're allergic to so many animals. I'm like, I know. And I really want to be a vet. I really do. Like, this was probably the best Christmas present my mom got for me. It's a dog Bible. Basically, it's a book that has every single pure breed registered in the American Kennel Club, which is the official, like, group or organization that for dogs, you know. And so, like, there's of course a golden retriever. You have this one. This is the flat-coated retriever right here. Flat-coated golden. And then I want to show you my favorite one. Yeah, I'm getting used to it. Like, I'm watching a lot of vet shows on TV, so the sight of blood and gore doesn't really affect me much. I'm more curious than anything. But let me show you one of my more favorites. Oh. So there's this one, which is like a black mop. Then there's nope. Gotta find it. It's one that is, I'm not kidding. Oh, yeah, that's Doge. He has a Shiba Inu. Oh yeah, and I really like this one's a Chow Chow. I really like because I like all the wrinkles. This one's a Chinese Shar Pei, of course. Wrinkles. I love the wrinkles. I love wrinkles. Like a bulldog, I could do because wrinkles. I love wrinkles on dogs. Okay, this is where it's at. Oh, this is my grandma's old dog. Oh yeah, and this one. This one. I want this one. Except grooming would be such a hassle. It has so much fur. I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, it's like a little dirty mop. It's a lap dog. It's literally was made in China. Its prime function was to lay on your lap. So yeah, I would die to have a dog like that. Oh yeah, here's the Chinese crested dog. Can I find the other one? No. Where is it? I've been looked into this book forever, so I might have forgotten where my other favorite dog is. When you see, you might realize why I like it so much. Oh yeah, this is what Willie is. Except he's really squeamish, and he's more like a tan than a brown. Ah, here it is. And then this one. He's also a mop. Like, look at the poor buddy. His fur covers his eyes. He can't see. Oh yeah, I also like it has this little thing for like energy level, the exercise, how how much you need to exercise them, how playful they are, how affectionate they are, how friendly they are towards other pets. So like if you have a cat or a bird or another dog, how friendly they are with strangers. Like, is it gonna go up to a stranger and try and bite their face off, or is it gonna try and lick them till they die of suffocation? How easy it is to train them, and then how I can't have big dogs because my dad's allergic to them. Well, no, correction. I can't have long hair dogs because he's allergic to them. So, yeah. It's definitely a present I have enjoyed. But, do you want me to read you the next chapter of Pure Animal? Can I? Okay. Goal. Don't flip the phone. Okay. Well, it's really delayed, so I'm not sure if that's a yes. Oh god. I almost fell. If that's a yes. Okay. This will be chapter 2. Chapter 2. Okay. Oh. BTW, this was the original beginning. So. Stepping out into the light, two bright red ruby eyes looked around the mysterious animal. Seeing that no one was around, the mysterious animal stepped out into the light and stretched its feathered wings as high as they could go. Ah, that felt good, she sighed. Pumping them hard and slow, she gradually got up into the air, cruising over the land she knew. The tall pines reaching up into the sky. Birds squawked and moved out of her way when she flew by. The wolf didn't have to worry about being spotted. No one ever looks up. She glided for a while, scouting for any wolves that were trespassing on her territory. Once she was satisfied that there weren't any intruders, she landed. The sun was in the middle of the sky by the time she got home, the heat beating down on her. She felt the soft grass brush the bottom of her paws when she landed. Time for a midday nap, if you ask me. She chuckled to herself. She took a deep breath. The sweet, sappy pine smell dominated all others. She followed the ritual of circling before she lay down. The moment her eyes closed, a horrible memory made its presence known. Her pack, the roughest, toughest pack in the forest. But just because they were really strong doesn't mean they weren't caring. Her mother was a mom to five spastic pups. Quintuplets, you could say. Freezerine would wrestle with her three brothers, Wet Sky, Treeleaf, and Barkstream, as much as any pup. Her one sister, River Rock, was more laid back than the boys. Life was good until when she reached 2,555 suns. Freak! Monster! That's what her pack said when they saw her open her wings for the first time. She was very hurt. She didn't know that wolves weren't supposed to have wings. She ran to her family, who recoiled in disgust. Mama, what happened to me? Why do I have wings? She cried. Her mother shook her head. I don't know, but you can't stay here. The pack won't take you seriously anymore. Freezing Rain felt her heart break into a million pieces. She ran as far as she could on her legs. Eventually, she collapsed into a pile and sobbed her broken heart out. Why me? Why did I have to be the freak of the family? She asked herself between sobs. A little while later, she decided that this was her life and she has to deal with it. That night, while out in the woods, she practiced her flying. Jumping and flapping, she tried to get an arch. Freezer Rain tried to do that more and more. Getting a little higher every time, she decided that this was the first step in flying. She felt hopeless. If she couldn't fly, how would she escape her pack? She had to learn how to fly. Since no one could teach her, she knew nature was her mentor. What animals have wings? She narrowed her eyebrows, trying to bring back memories of the animals that her pack had brought back for food. Birds. Birds have wings. She looked around for some birds. Spotting some, she looked at them as teachers, not food. Focusing on their wings, she saw them make circles. Not good circles, but their wings made a slide that went down, straight at the top of at the bottom of the circle, made a slide that went up, then straight at the top. This isn't Dora. It wasn't a rhetorical question. But yeah, so go like this. I don't know why this. Okay. Go like this, like this, like this, 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 this. That's what I noticed when I looked online on how birds flew. The only reason I wasn't flying right now is because our pec muscles or whatever, pectoral muscles, are too small. The ones that birds have take up like their entire chest. So they're huge, which allows them to fly. But as humans, we don't have them, so we can't fly. Even if we make the motions, we can't fly. And I assume we're getting Jimmy John's for dinner. Yeah, I did research with this. I think we're getting Jimmy John's for dinner. I heard him talking about Jimmy John's. I want Jimmy John's. You don't have Jimmy John's in Britain? No Jimmy John's. You don't. I had a friend who lives in North Carolina who doesn't have Jim and Nick's. Ugh. All these Colorado restaurants that I've known since I was like itty bitty, and then suddenly finding out that you guys don't know what they are just breaks my heart. Jimmy John's is basically just a fast food. Jimmy John's makes sandwiches like ham and cheese. I don't know. There'd be a roast beef and lettuce and tomatoes and pickles and whatnot, and mayo, mustard, if that's your kind of thing. Jimmy John's makes that. Jimmy Nick's is a barbecue place, so they have like pulled pork and beans and meat and barbecue sauce, mac and cheese, corn. I don't know what their biscuits are. I think they're cheese biscuits. I love their cheese biscuits. And their mac and cheese. And their beans. I just love everything, except for the collard greens. Those are disgusting. I hate collard greens. I don't know who you are anymore. I literally grew up eating pulled pork, eating beans, eating mac and cheese. I just remembered I didn't finish my story. God, I need to stop getting off track. Okay, quick sideline from dinner and story. This has to do with Toby. We're coming back home from camping. We were coming back from camping, and I was really tired. So I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. And Toby's sitting right next to me, like right in front of my face. So I'm like, I'm gonna just use his tail as a mini pillow. Apparently, at some point in my nap, he moved his tail from under my head, brought it up, and farted in my face. I didn't wake up at all. And how could you? Kraft mac and cheese is my life. Yes, it was. My parents took a picture. Yeah, it was kind of disappointing. I was like, I was trying to take a nap and you decided to harass me for getting farted and you have no decency. Yeah. So, yeah. Fucking blankets. Yeah. That better? Because I don't have to hold my phone anymore. Go like this. Boom. It's just sexual jet fuel. It's just jet fuel for him. He gives him an extra boost. I'm about to fall. I almost fell off my bed. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Uh, oh, another story. So, a couple years ago, we had Toby at the time. My neighbors had this really big Dalmatian named Zuka. And so, one morning, Toby was barking at the gate to my neighbor's house. He's barking. I can't remember if he was debarked at this point or not, which means he got his excuse me, he got his vocal cords cut. I mean, that's how they debark dogs. Or if he wasn't, I can't remember. Anyway, he was barking at the gate because he saw Zuka, and my neighbor was just like, "What are you barking at?" And then saw he was barking at Zuka, so he's like, "Fine, I'll let you guys play." And so he brings Zuka over, like he opens the gate and Zuka walks out, and Toby sees, and just like he just starts going in circles and runs inside the house, yelping. And debarking is mainly for dogs who are considered nuisance barkers. Like once they start barking, they can't stop. And they're really loud and annoying. So you can either put them down or debark them. And debarking is all they do is they have surgery where they cut the vocal cords so they're shorter. It is, but they do it under anesthesia and all that, and it doesn't hurt. Like, Toby still barks, but it's quieter. So, it is cruel, I would hate suddenly waking up one day and like only being able to whisper. Yeah, culture cultural difference. I'm not sure if this is just like a Colorado thing. Is it just solely like a United States kind of thing? I don't know, but that's just what they had to do. I mean, I'd rather have him debarked than the alternative of him being put down. Much rather have him debarked. He's still annoying though. Even though it's a whisper bark, he's still annoying. Just saying. I'll be right back. I need to fill my water bottle up. I'm back. Hope you didn't miss me. Oh. So technically his balls dropped. Just saying. He went through the cat version of puberty. Poor buddy. So we're not getting Jimmy John's. We make our own dinner tonight. So I might do this. Am I making anything nice? I don't know. I'm probably debating between a quesadilla or a bean burrito. Those are just some of the things that we have easy on hand. I can't drive and I'm broke, so I don't feel like going shopping, having my mom go shopping. My mom. Yay, you ate. What do you mean salad for your tea? Like, I know that you Brits basically call everything tea, or stereotypically. I don't know, it's something I saw online. But like lunch, just no, it would have been for dinner. That's more recent for you guys. Cause it's like what, one over there? 7 hours. No, it's midnight over there for you. Oh. You're 7 hours ahead of my time, so quick maths. Oh yeah, it's these. Not sure if they're over there, but it's basically it's a pretzel that's filled with peanut butter on the inside. Oh. See, it's powdered peanut butter, just shoved in, shoved inside the pretzel. Mm. Ah, well, I mean, at least you ate, so that's a good thing. Me, you don't have to worry about. I'm constantly eating if you can't tell. I need my fuel, my food, man. I'm probably gonna bring mice into my room with all the pretzel crumbs. I'll go for like another 30-ish minutes. You should, okay, you don't have to eat meat per se, like nuts or whatever, they have protein. So at least try and find something that has protein. That's all I ask. Find something like nuts or, yeah, I think the main, no, eat fish, eat nuts, like walnuts or peanuts or almonds, things like that. They're high in protein as well. Or protein bars, you can eat those. My mom's really high on the whole protein bar thing. So yeah, I'll go for like another 30 minutes or so. Then I need to make my dinner. I'm a hungry person. Yeah. Number one, my mom goes to the gym a lot. So, and she has like a nutritionalist there. So a lot of what I know food wise, comes from her and the nutritionalist that she goes to. Then also, I did have health this year in school, and one of the subjects was health, like wellness and things like that, and like what to eat nutrition wise. So, um, that's how I learned. I think I might still have my packet. If not, sorry, I threw it away. I threw all my health stuff away. Oh, we use pounds, but I have phone. Well, iPod. I can do a quick calculation. Okay. You lost like 100 pounds. Honestly, so 14 stones, it's like 196 pounds. So for every stone, that's 14 pounds. So it was basically, just square it. So 14 would be 196 pounds. Then for 7 stones, that's so you've lost basically 100 pounds. Am I like you do you, loons? Like I'm not judging or anything, but like that's a lot. Like 196 isn't that bad. Like my brother, for crying out loud. My oldest brother, he's like 200 pounds. And he's fit. I'm not kidding, he's extremely fit. He's a bit on the bigger side, but he's fit. So, here's my thing. And it's my mom's thing as well. Weight doesn't matter. What matters is fitness. Like, can you lift up a backpack? Can you lift up a chair if you need to move a chair? Can you lift up a dog if you need to be able to lift up a dog? Can you breathe? Like, can you breathe easy? Can you survive at higher altitudes? Um, let's see what else. Yeah, things like that. Weight in my, this is what I'm trying to teach myself because I am very conscious of my own personal weight. So, like, for you and your weight, I would be about 9.2 to 9.3 stones. Last time I weighed myself. And I'm very conscious of that. Good. Get some of that weight back. Oh, you're not much heavier than I am. So, yeah. Weights, don't ever worry about your weight. That's a thing that gets so many people in general into trouble, is them. Weight doesn't matter. Unless you are malnourished, weight doesn't matter. You know, either if you're either malnourished or obese, like you're really big and like not healthy, whatever, like you're constantly having McDonald's for every single meal, then your weight kind of matters because it is deteriorating your health. But like for me, for instance, I'm about 9.5 stones. You're off. Like I'm 130 pounds. You're 133 for comparison. So you're not much heavier than I am, and I'm 15. And so what my mom's trying to tell me is that my weight doesn't matter. Even though I have a belly, that doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that I'm fit. Like, can I pick up my dogs? Can I pick up a chair? Can I pick up my backpack? I walk a certain distance and not feel tired and need a break? Things like that. Like, is my immune system up to date? Because your weight can definitely impede your immune system. Yeah. She. The thing is that I'm her second daughter. I have an older sister who's about your age. Well, she's a little older. My oldest brother, is about your age. My sister is a couple years older than you are. So I'm pretty sure Sam might have gone through the same feeling. She might have gone anorexic or bulimic for a while. I don't know. My mom never told me. But, like, she's constantly trying to keep me away from going down that path. But honestly, I love food so much. Like, the concept of giving it up is so foreign to me. It's crazy. Just the thought of wanting to not eat is like, no, I need food. I literally need food to survive. I'm not going off food. And then the prospect of throwing it all up again, like, no, I hate throwing up. If I'm sick and I'm throwing up, I like how I feel afterwards, but I don't like the process of it. You just find things that you like and you eat, like spaghetti, lasagna. What other pastas are there? Fettuccine, Alfredo, mac and cheese, things like that. Well, not mac and cheese, because obviously you don't like mac and cheese, but you get what I mean. But yeah, she is. She. Yeah, my mom, she's amazing. Having been, she's raising, well, she's raised to raising four, so technically, 6 children is a lot. So, you know, having to deal with the stress of managing like 4 appointments and school things and keeping the house clean, making sure we have food and things like that. She is. I take her for granted way too much. But yeah, it's nice. And then also, like, if I need to vent, she's there for me to vent to. Because, God, if I try venting to my dad, he's just gonna be like, you're just being annoying to be annoying. Or whatever. You're just complaining to complain. Because he's a guy. Like, number one, he's an adult. And number two, he's a guy. Like, guys don't understand teenage girls at all. Because, yes, we cried a lot. It's the only way I know how to get out my emotions, god damn it. So I'm like, but, you know, he's also taught me to, like, get up from a fall, you know? Like, I was riding my bike a year ago, or a year or two ago. I was coming, because I have the way my neighborhood is situated is like a cul-de-sac, except, like, instead of a road with a bunch of houses on the outside, it's kind of like a donut. Imagine, like, you have houses on the outer, got the road going around in a circle, then you got a bunch of houses in the middle. So it's kind of like a donut cul-de-sac kind of thing. And so I have a hill right here. I was going down this hill really quickly because I was like, I love the feel of the wind in my face. So I was going down it really quickly, and then a car was coming around this way, and I didn't, you know, I saw it, and my only thought, instead of swerving, my only thought was to stop. So I uh, squeezed the brakes really hard. Well, for me, it was pedal brakes, so I kind of, it's kind of like a thing where you lock the pedals, and that's how you brake on a bike like that. And so I locked them, and my bike started like bucking like a horse apparently, because the way I was braking really fast, started like to buck. So I hit my chest on the handlebars really hard, and then I fell off and like tumbled a little bit. All I remember is like seeing it, everything went black because my chest hit the handlebars, and then I couldn't breathe, and so I started freaking out, you know, because I got the wind knocked out of me. But I didn't cry, I didn't complain. I just got up and limped, basically, to my house. Luckily, I was right across the street from it. So I just limped over. Didn't complain. Not once. I might have groaned a little bit. But, you know. Anyway, my phone's about to die. So, it's best I leave it here. Growing up with a house full of guys, you learn not to cry. You get hurt. Anyway, I gotta leave it here. My phone's about to die. It was nice. Bye.